Salam to all Muslim brothers and sisters. We're diving deep today
Right?
into a concept that could really change things up
Yeah.
financially for the Muslim world,
Okay.
a common sovereign wealth fund.
Mm.
What if all 57 nations of the OIC combine all their financial strength?
Interesting.
We're talking potentially trillions, all working together, not just for individual countries, but the whole ummah.
I see.
Could this be the key, you think, to a new era of empowerment and influence
Yeah.
for the Muslim world?
It's definitely a compelling idea, huge potential, but to really get the scale of it, we got to understand sovereign wealth funds first, or SWFs.
Okay.
Essentially, they're state-owned investment funds, often from extra government money,
Yeah.
like from natural resources, right?
Yeah.
So think of it like this: a country saving some of its wealth, making long-term investments, kind of like how we save for the future, right?
It's like a national savings account. But instead of piggy banks, we're talking hundreds of billions, trillions even. And so Muslim nations, they already manage some of the world's biggest SWFs.
Exactly. Saudi Arabia, they've got the Public Investment Fund, or PIF, over $700 billion right there.
Wow.
Then there's the UAE Abu Dhabi Investment Authority, or ADIA, over $800 billion.
That's incredible.
Kuwait, Qatar, also massive SWFs, hundreds of billions each. So yeah, you can see the Muslim world financially, they're already a force.
Those figures are amazing.
Yeah.
But if these nations already have such big funds, why a common one? What's the advantage?
That's where the CSWF, it gets really interesting. Some Muslim nations, yeah, they've seen growth, but lots are facing challenges. Big contrast, within the OIC
Right.
between the resource-rich and the not so rich.
Right.
A CSWF, it could be a way to bridge that gap, using investment strategically, lifting up the whole ummah.
I see.
It's about using our collective strength for everyone, not just a few.
So it's about more than just profit. It's about unity, solidarity, using our wealth to help each other, creating a better future for everyone.
Exactly, but managing such a huge fund, it's not simple. Lots of complex issues. Governance, for instance. How would contributions work? Based on GDP. Natural resources. Something else entirely. And even bigger, who decides? Who decides where these trillions go?
Big questions. Seems like finding a balance is key. Fair representation for all,
Yeah,
but also making decisions effectively.
absolutely. One way, maybe weighted voting. More you contribute, the more say you have. Or a system where everyone has a voice, no matter the size of their economy.
Makes sense. We don't want to leave anyone behind, make sure everyone's interests are heard. But how do we make sure these investments
Yeah.
actually help people? Avoid corruption,
Yeah.
mismanagement like we've seen with some SWFs.
You're right, that's crucial. Transparency and accountability, that's going to be absolutely key. Strong governance, clear investment guidelines, independent auditing, got to have it all. Excellent points. Preventing corruption, being transparent, that's how we build trust. It's not just about having wealth, it's about using it right for the Muslim world.
Exactly. So how can we make that happen? What specific things could this fund target? To create positive change, Consider, across the ummah.
Well, there are tons of possibilities, but let's look at a few key areas where a CSWF could really make a difference.
Okay.
First, imagine investing in infrastructure, particularly in less developed parts of the OIC.
I see.
Things like modern transportation, reliable energy, access to clean water. These are the foundations, for economic growth, better living standards, creating jobs.
Yeah, it's exciting to think about. Connecting communities,
Yeah.
boosting trade,
Yeah.
make sure everyone has what they need. But what about investing in people themselves?
Absolutely. Education and healthcare, that's where a CSWF could be transformative.
How so?
Imagine funding top-notch universities, research institutions across the Muslim world, encouraging innovation, giving future generations the skills they need, and healthcare infrastructure, medical research, disease prevention. That could dramatically improve health outcomes.
So it's about empowering individuals, giving them the chance to thrive, building a future where everyone, every member of the ummah, can contribute and benefit.
Precisely. And let's not forget economic diversification. Many Muslim countries depend on one thing: oil, gas, A CSWF could help develop new industries, encourage entrepreneurship, support small businesses.
Building a more stable base then. Less vulnerable to global ups and downs.
Exactly.
Diversification, long-term stability makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But you mentioned political differences before. How could those affect a CSWFs? Could they hinder it?
Well, the OIC, it's diverse, right? Different political systems, ideologies, even rivalries, getting everyone to agree On governance, contributions, investment priorities, it could be tough.
It sounds like a real challenge.
Yeah.
But even if we overcome that, are there other risks we need to watch out for?
Of course. Mismanagement and corruption, always a risk with such a huge fund.
Right.
People might be tempted to take advantage, put their own interests above the Ummah's.
So what can we do? How do we protect the CSWF?
Robust governance from the very beginning, absolutely essential.
You talked about transparency, accountability. What specific measures could we put in place?
It'll take a multi-tiered approach. First, clear ethical guidelines, investment principles, aligned with Islamic values. That sets the foundation.
Makes sense.
Then, an independent board of directors, people with proven integrity and expertise in finance, governance, they oversee everything.
Checks and balances?
Correct.
To ensure ethical and responsible management. But how do we make sure the CSWF stays focused on its purpose, benefiting the entire Ummah?
That's where monitoring and evaluation come in, regular audits, independent, ensuring transparency and accountability.
I see.
And we need to track the impact, see if the investments are achieving their goals, those social and economic development goals.
Data-driven, making adjustments if needed.
Exactly.
This way, the fund stays true to its mission. It's good to know these safeguards can be there from the start. It shows that it's not just about making money, but managing it ethically for the benefit of all Muslims.
Exactly. But even with the best systems, success isn't guaranteed. We need to learn from others, other sovereign wealth funds, see what worked, what didn't.
So are there any good examples out there? Success stories, maybe, or even some cautionary tales, things we can learn from?
Oh, definitely. Norway's government pension fund Global.
Yeah.
That's a real success story.
What makes them so special?
Well, they're worth over $1 trillion, and they've consistently had strong returns. And importantly, they've stuck to ethical standards, been transparent all the way.
So they've used their wealth wisely, built something lasting. That's something the Muslim world could emulate, right?
Absolutely. It fits well with Islamic finance principles, that focus on fairness for future generations.
Makes sense. Any other examples? Specific strategies, maybe?
Yeah, take Singapore's Temasek Holdings. They've built a really diverse portfolio, investing in tech, healthcare, infrastructure, both in Singapore and globally.
Interesting. So being strategic, adapting to change, and embracing innovation. It seems like diversification is a common thread here. Not putting all your eggs in one basket.
Right.
But beyond the money, what about the real-world impact? Have these funds made a difference?
For sure.
Yeah.
Norway's SWF, they've funded social programs, research, development, infrastructure projects, things that benefit everyone in Norway.
Wow.
And Temasek in Singapore, they've helped transform their economy, boosted innovation, created well-paying jobs.
So these SWFs, they're not just about wealth, but about using it to make a difference,
Yeah.
to address needs and improve lives.
Exactly. And that's the real measure of success for a CSWF. Not just the financial performance, but the impact on people's lives.
Right. Has it helped to reduce poverty, improved healthcare, education, created opportunities?
Those are the questions we need to ask.
So as we wrap up, any final thoughts for our listeners?
A CSWF for the Muslim world. It's a bold idea, no doubt. It has huge potential to change things for the better, bring us together, drive development, make our voices heard globally.
It's inspiring.
But it's going to take strong leadership, commitment to transparency, good governance, and a belief in the power of working together. It won't be easy, but the rewards could be enormous.
It's a call to action then, Nara, for all Muslims. We have the resources, the talent, to build a better future. A future where the Muslim world, the area is defined by its strength, its innovation, its commitment to justice and prosperity. Jazakallah Shaykh for joining us. Ervin, until next time. Area, may Allah guide us all.